Hey, Lakeside, Jeff Grunwald and Marc Gagnon here. We are Friday afternoon up at the church, just getting ready for the weekend. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to the message for this weekend. Marc, whether you're going to be at Central or downtown this weekend, it's going to be fun. Daniel Bell is getting affirmed this weekend, Lord willing, at our downtown church, and we're excited about all that is. But we're actually getting ready for the Monday newsletter, and when you see this video, it is already Monday, and we're going to start something new here. We're going to call it 5 minutes. Instead of 5 things, it's going to be 5 minutes, and today it's 5 minutes with Marc Gagnon. So, some of the things, Marc, that we hear, or you hear maybe more than I do, is like, what do? You work 1 hour a week. And of course, you're always making a joke of that kind of stuff. But what do you actually do? What are you working on? What are you excited about?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I hear that a lot, especially, Christians and non-Christians. Like, but what do you actually do? And so I tell people,
I wonder.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what is happening in that office? And we share a wall too, so you often hear the music and different rehearsals and meetings and stuff. But in my kind of week broken down, if I kind of look at it, and I've kind of added up many times, it's probably about 25 hours a week on sermon prep alone. Which sounds incredibly boring.
Yeah, and why does it take so long? It only takes me 2 hours to read a sermon, or write a sermon.
Yeah, it shows.
I know it shows.
But and people ask me all the time. I think it'd be probably about 3 hours if I was simply just showing up. Hey, turn to the book of Mark. Let me explain this to you and what's God telling us to do.
Okay.
Lakeside is built on a totally different principle, which says that we've invited everybody to show up. Our neighbors, our friends, skeptical, asking questions, doubting God. And so there's a whole narrative journey that you have to take people to. You have to build trust dollars. I'm walking in a position of untrusted authority. I'm a preacher. So I have to work hard and work with the team to kind of create a narrative that draws people in, that brings out the human experience and shows them how God ties into that, and hopefully helps people encounter the presence of God, because teaching His Word is actually bringing people into that. So
you're trying to keep everybody on board, no matter where they're at in their spiritual journey. I see that in messages, and I guess that takes time to figure that out.
It does for me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
And then
so we're doing this present series.
Yeah.
Where do we go after that?
After that, we're going to be doing a series called Overwhelmed. And it's all about what do we do when there's just everything's kind of hitting the fan in our life. And we're going to be going almost chapter by chapter through the book of 1 Peter. And a book that's really written to people who were suffering and overwhelmed with what was going on in their culture. So I'm
looking forward to that. I'm not available to preach any of those messages.
It's okay. Myself, Daniel Bell, and Robin Elliott, she doesn't even know that. Robin, if you're watching, you're going to be preaching one of the sermons. We're so excited to have you join. And so that's sermon writing, So we actually do, a lot of people don't know this, we actually do a sermon rehearsal every week. Yeah. Everybody who preaches, including myself, every Thursday at 2, meets in the auditorium, has to preach in front of the part of our staff team and get critical feedback. Because we just think, it's one thing to kind of write it alone in your office and think, this is so awesome. Everybody's going to love this. And Thursday afternoons are really humbling. I come home Thursday afternoon and my wife's just like, it's okay.
Gotta go back to the drawing board.
I still love you. So that's kind of sermon writing, 25 hours a week.
Okay.
Second thing I do is I meet with the staff. In January this year, I just was praying and I asked God, I said, what's my word for the year? Everyone did that as a church. Mine was assimilate. And it was this idea that, Mark, we can continue to be a church that has all these ministries that are doing great things and kind of running in parallel, kind of like 3-year-olds. They don't play together. They parallel play. And just really sense Mark, one of your big focuses is meeting with our staff team and getting us aligned. And so one of the really neat things is we've been kind of busting silos and working together has been this big alpha push that you're seeing right now.
Yeah.
We just felt everything that happened in September, we want to encourage everybody to take part in alpha. So whether you're bringing a friend, you're exploring faith, you're just wanting to get back to the basics. We have people that have been at the church for decades that are like, I've never come and I need to come and learn.
Yeah, and tomorrow night, when you're watching this on Monday, tomorrow night, Tuesday the 24th, that's when Alpha launches here, and it's going to be a packed house.
There's over 100 people already signed up, and that's not including what would have happened yesterday if this is Monday, but it's actually Friday.
Cool. Awesome.
And then the last thing that kind of the third thing I spend a lot of time doing is kind of one-off meetings. So I get a lot of emails from people that are just like, hey, can we connect? I'm new to the church, new to the city, questioning faith, or just went through this traumatic experience, not sure how God ties into it. And I love those. I love those because they just kind of give me a chance to chat with real people, have good coffee, and it really speaks into the way we lead the church, and I think the way that personally I preach, which has been really helpful. And then in the gaps, you and I, in the midst of all the crazy, we get together and we chat and kind of dream about what God may be doing in the future of this church.
Yeah, we do that. I'm good at hallway meetings. I'm not good at scheduled meetings like every Wednesday at 2 or something like that. So Mark and I said, hey, Mark, you got a few minutes. Let's talk about something.
It drives me nuts. I just want can we have a 30-minute window?
I don't do 30-minute windows.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm so excited about that. I remember even just one of the first days I started my job, and you sat down and you said, Mark, I want to work towards a church that, exists far longer than you and I.
Oh yeah.
And so I love that. I love even this coming year in a few months, you're going to hear something like Jeff's really been praying about for the future of our church and kind of a word that God has for 2020. And it's so good. So I'm just so honored to get to work with you, learn from you, and to trust God as we move forward to help people discover and fully follow Jesus.
Yeah, I know we're not at the end of the year yet, but we are getting close to the end of 2019 and going into 2020. We're going to ask the Lord what he has for this year, and I have a sense of some of those things already, and do look forward to sharing that with you. Well, Mark, our time's drawn to a close. It's 5 minutes. It's over 5 minutes.
I always go over time.
Yeah, we better knock it off here. We got to take some time off your sermon on Sunday because of that. Are you okay with that?
Imagine.
No. Okay, hey, Lakeside, we love you. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.
See ya.